Already this year, the Birds are hoping the Chen's return will solidify a 5-man rotation that can keep it going after the All-Star break. Chen tries to be the stopper. Orioles Rangers next. It's the Orioles on Masson as we head to the All-Star break. The Orioles and the Rangers in a 4-game set. Texas, their bats alive, have taken the first 2 games from the Orioles. Chen comes back tonight to try and put a W up for the O's. Over the last couple of years, July has not been particularly good for the Orioles. They are 2-6 in July this year. Last year, 13-14 in July before they went on the winning rampage late. Bit of good news today in one regard for the Orioles. Yu Darvish is not going to pitch the ball game tomorrow. Their all-star pitcher is going to be out of the all-star game and probably out of the rotation when they go to Texas. He's not going to go on the DL, however, until probably on Saturday. For the Orioles, they'll look tonight to have Mr. Consistency lead them again. That is Nick Markakis. He has moved into the top 10 in hits. He is 8th in the American League right now. And you talk about consistency, look at these numbers over his career. Batting average of 295, 289 right now. At home, 293, 309 at the moment. With runners in scoring position, his career number is 296, 304 right now. Against right-handers, he's at 298. He's hitting 302 at the moment. The 7th inning or later, 291 career, 287 right now. He's hit 284 or better, 12 home runs in his first 7 seasons. You are hard-pressed to find a number, Mike Bordick, that's different by more than 15 points in any offensive category batting-wise for Nick Markakis.
Yeah, amazing consistency from Nick Markakis, and those numbers tell you why his teammates were upset he wasn't on the All-Star team and why fans in Baltimore are upset he wasn't there as well. I mean, just been an incredibly consistent offensive player as well as defensive player for the Orioles, but better than anybody, he stays inside the baseball all the way through a count. He is not a guess hitter. He sees his pitch, and he's able to use the whole field, and he is the definition of a professional hitter.
It is absolutely amazing, that consistency over the span of what is still a young career for Nick Markakis. The Orioles in Texas are ready to go, so are we. So sit back, let's enjoy some baseball tonight, Game 3 of the 4-game series. On Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. August weather in July here in the Baltimore area. Take a look at our train game time temperature for game number 3. We're 90 degrees to start this one. And again, very little breeze and humidity up to 53%. Some clouds rolling by. Train celebrating its 100th anniversary by offering irresistible financing. It is hard to stop a train. Really hard. Here's the lineup for the Texas Rangers. Kinsler, Profar, Cruz, Beltre, Pierzynski, Andrus, Moreland, Giovanni Soto gets the start behind the plate, and Beltre. You see Adrian Beltre this series? Are you kidding me?
Take a look at the scouting report as he tries to calm down Beltre's bat. He is right back in the fire. Last year's most reliable starter for the Orioles will be making his first start since going on the disabled list with that strained oblique back on May 12th. And the Orioles need him to be the stopper. Of course, he's got to shut down this Rangers offense, get this homestand back on track before the All-Star break. And in doing so, he's got to establish his fastball. This Rangers offense has been red hot, and they aren't missing mistakes. Chen has to be able to locate that fastball in and out and keep these hitters off balance and away from the heart of the plate. He's made 8 starts this year. Opponent batting average at .260. Lefties hitting .250 and righties .264.
The Rangers have now scored 5 or more runs in 6 consecutive ball games. So that's the offense that Chen has to face here in his comeback, and he has been itching to get his time back on the mound. And the Orioles need him right now to have a good game. Buck Showalter saying before the game there's no pitch count, no limits. Said I told Wei Chen he was going to take that extra time in the rehab game. Probably one more than what he wanted to do, because when he came back here I wanted him ready to go. No limitations, no questions. And that's the way they view Chen's outing here in this ball game. Here is Ian Kinsler to lead it off, and we're underway. Kinsler will take it up high for a ball. Kinsler's got an 8-game hit streak going himself here in this series. A good 4 for 10. You see the 4 RBIs, runs scored. 1-0 delivery to him. Kinsler will foul that one back. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Wei Chen had made a couple rehab starts and was really dominant in his last one. And that's the one that Buck Showalter said, oh, yeah, he's ready. 7 shutout innings in Double-A Bowie.
So they'll watch it very closely here on Chen's start, see how it looks. That'll be away for a ball, 2-1. Chen has had only 1 career start against Texas. That was May of last year here in Baltimore. He worked into the 8th inning, gave up just 2 runs, 1 earned, 6 hits, a walk, and struck out 5. So he had a very solid outing, and he got the win against that only appearance against Texas. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Think they're talking pitching?
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff right there. Jim Johnson, Chris Tillman. Of course, the newbie to the Orioles, Feldman.
Scott Feldman over there in the far left. 3-ball, 1-strike delivery coming to Kinsler. He will foul that one off. And the count 3 balls and 2 strikes.
A really good fastball. When you can challenge a hitter, especially a good hitter like Kinsler, with a fastball and have him yank it foul, that is just great location. And Wei Chen is not scared to throw a fastball inside to both lefties and righties.
Here's the 3-2 coming. And Kinsler will jam it to center field. Jones, playing fairly shallow, backs up. And he's got it. First inning for Wei Chen is one he'd like to get over with as quickly as possible.
Yeah, he had a tough time of it last year. See, 32 innings, 5.91 earned run average, but you live and learn. And here this year, 8 innings pitched, 2.25 earned run average. So certainly making improvements. You always learn throughout the course of a season and then try to build on it next year. And he seems to have been doing that.
Chen will face the 20-year-old. Erickson Profar will stand in. The only thing you have to check when he's in the game is where is he playing. Shortstop last night, he's in left field in the ball game tonight for the youngster, who continues to move all over the baseball god's creation. Profar getting playing time from Ron Washington. 6 starts, 5 different positions for him. That one down the line in right field, and that will be a foul ball. Asked him last night, he got a hold of a ball that was not a particularly good swing. He was kind of leaning one-handed, got a double off the wall, 7th inning. And he said it actually hit the sweet spot. He said it wasn't a very good swing, but I got the bat out far enough that I got the sweet spot on it, so that's why I think it traveled as far as it did. So it didn't look very good. 0-2 delivery on the way to him, and Profire will take it inside, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Well, most good hitters, that's what the goal is. Try to square it up, hit that sweet spot, and good things will happen. That indeed happened to Profire last night.
1-2. Chen's delivery to him. That's as off speed as you can get right there. Profire almost fell over on his front foot trying to stay back on that changeup. He's a very aggressive swinger, so he puts the body into it. You know, he doesn't get cheated up there. Only 20 years old, but he's not afraid to go after it. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be fouled back into the screen. Wei-Yin Chen would like nothing better, obviously, than have a nice, clean first inning. And to get the adrenaline settled down a little bit, get the rhythm going, and to just get back in and be able to quiet the whole thing down for the game.
Yeah, exactly. The nerves are certainly flowing. I mean, Wei-Yin Chen, I was talking with his interpreter earlier today, and he said he has just been gnawing at the bit. He hated being on the disabled list. He's seen what his team's going through. He wants to be there to stabilize this rotation and help them get back to the postseason.
Chen, as Mike said, last worked on the 12th of May. And that ball's going to go down the line, and it will be caught! Oh, mercy! But there's no out.
A beautiful play down the line. Hard line drive off the bat of Profire. Great effort. Nice extension there.
Nice catch. Look at that smile. Won't forget that one. Parents are already requesting a copy of the video. And he got him. And there are 2 down. The last 2 games, Rangers have beaten the Orioles. Buck Showalter on a Wired Wednesday talked with him before the game. What'd you think of the first 2, Skipper?
Stink. No. I'm telling you, I don't like. I look at the bottom line, and you know, through good games that you win, there's some things you got to get better at, and through bad games, there's some things you did well. How about the play Markakis made in right field last night? You kidding me?
Yes.
You know how hard that is? I was just talking to him about it. We made some great defensive plays these 2 games. Otherwise, we'd probably get the boat raced. But very good team, very athletic. You know, Gary's not a broken record. It's we got to get deep in the games with our starters. That's why you end up with certain pitchers pitching in situations in the 6th inning they shouldn't be pitching in.
Well, you know what? Buck always tries to find the positive, and obviously pointing out Nick Markakis' great play out there in right field, but certainly a concern with the starting rotation, needing this rotation to get deeper into ball games. Of course, it is a long season, and you need them fresh at the end of the year. Talking about the bullpen, you need them to be strong if you want to have some success in the postseason.
They're talking all afternoon about the fact that they scored 9 runs in 2 games and didn't get a win.
Right.
I mean, that should be enough to have at least 1 W up. Cruz at the plate, 1-ball 2-strike count with 2 down. Nelson Cruz fouls that one away.
We'll take a look at the defense behind Chen tonight. McLeod, Jones, and Markakis once again in that Orioles outfield. Hardy and Roberts up the middle. Manny Machado and Chris Davis on the corners with Matt Wieters behind the plate.
Cruz brings a 5-game hit streak into the ball game, upping his average to 277. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that'll be taken down low. Count goes to 2-2. Cruz, talking about Nick Markakis, solid ball player he is. I kind of put Cruz that same kind of level. Cruz is really a really outstanding everyday ball player. Not as, I don't think, as consistent a hitter as Nick is. But boy, you like to have him in the lineup in that number 3 spot for Texas in the same way the Orioles like to have Markakis in that lineup in either 1 or 3.
Yeah, definitely players that you can count on. Certainly reliable with the bat and defensively. I mean, Nick Markakis, if he continues at this pace, I mean, he's putting up Hall of Fame type numbers. I mean, he has an incredible amount of doubles.
He got him. Chen gets a strikeout. What a comeback for Wei-Yin Chen as he gets 2 Ks and a clean inning. Orioles lineup coming up. from the O's here at home. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles tonight. It'll be McLeod, Machado, and Markakis, Jones, Davis, and Wieters, Hardy, Robertson, Reimold. Nate McLeod has had a good series. And Nolan Reimold, a late insertion into the lineup. We'll talk about that.
Take a look at the scouting report tonight for Josh Lindblom. Opportunity knocks. The Rangers have been looking for someone to step up and stabilize the back end of their rotation. Well, Nick Tepesh goes on the DL, and he gets another chance to prove he's the guy. He's got a 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, curve, and change, but he is very comfortable with his off speed, and the slider is his go-to pitch. He rules righties in his career. Righties just hitting 183 this year, just 125.
So the Orioles left-handers will try and make hay off this right-hander, starting with Nate McLeod.
We'll take a look at his numbers. 7 games, 4 starts, 1-2 record, 4.50 earned run average, 20 punch-outs in there, 255 opponent average. There it is. Righties just 125 this year.
And that'll be fouled back by Nate. McLeod getting the start in left field. We talked about Reimold is going to hit 9th and be the DH. In the ball game, Chris Dickerson was supposed to be batting 8th and DHing in the game. Dickerson during batting practice, however, hurt something and came out of the cage, threw the bat down, and went with Richie Bancells, the Orioles trainer, immediately into the training room. So whatever happened, it happened during batting practice, and he's out of the ball game. Nate McLeod, 1 ball, 2 strike count. 26-year-old right-hander. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be put back into the seats. As a starter for Lindblom this season, and this is only his 5th start, 8 appearance, he has had a couple of losses against Oakland and Toronto, and no decision games against Cleveland and Oakland. Those are his numbers as a starter this year. And the pitch will be taken inside. 2 ball, 2 strike count on McLeod.
Well, manager Ron Washington really likes him. He thinks he's a great competitor. He does his homework and prepares properly, and thinks he certainly has an opportunity to fit into the rotation.
Just missed inside. He has been a reliever, and last year that's what he did. 74 relief appearances with the Dodgers and with the Phillies. It was his first full major league season. Went 3-5, a 3.55 ERA out of the bullpen. McLeod on the roller foul, so Nate's battling here and holds that count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. McLeod really having an outstanding season, one that obviously gets overshadowed by other teammates, but couldn't ask for much more out of Nate. At 284, 2nd in stolen bases, fouls that one off. He's been a tough out, whether he's in the bottom of the lineup or at the top. A lot of these kinds of at-bats, forcing pitchers deep into the count with a lot of pitches thrown.
Yeah, he has been outstanding for the Orioles. A great table setter as a leadoff hitter, gets on base and really wreaks havoc. I mean, everybody thinks he's going to steal, so pitchers tend to lose their focus.
Here's another one of those at-bats. We're going to get 10 pitches at least in this at-bat to start the ball game.
Well, that's a good start, obviously, for the Orioles. They would love to put some pressure on an opposing pitcher, have their pitch count get up early in a ball game.
3 ball, 2 strike count. Lindblom's delivery to him, and that's going to go down the line near the foul pole, and it is just missed. A matter of a few feet, and that's off the fair pole, and it's a home run.
Yeah, that ball was hammered. Nate McLeod having a great at bat, seeing all the offerings that Josh has, and this one just pulled foul just a couple feet down the line, and it was a bullet too. Almost gets a fan in the leg.
And to get out there in a hurry. 3 ball, 2 strike count. And McLeod will get a second base for this one. Kinsler will make the play, and 1 down.
We take a look at the Rangers defense tonight. Profar, as you mentioned, now he moves out to left field. Angel Beltre out in center field, Cruz in right, Andrews and Kinsler up the middle. With Beltre at third base, Moreland getting the start at first, and Soto doing the catching this evening.
And that will bring up Manny Machado. See Manny with a solid 4 for 9, home run, 2 RBIs in the series against Texas. Machado now picking the numbers up in July, hitting .242 this month with a home run. Matt Wieters has had a couple of home runs this month, along with Chris Davis, to lead in the long ball department in July. 0-1 delivery. Machado will take the pitch on the outside corner, and it goes to 0-2. 0-2, one down. And the 0-2 delivery to him, and he will foul that one back. Made Manny Machado Machias last night at the end of the ball game. Freud was a wonderful man. He knew things. Thinking about getting back home to Maine. There's a city called Machias. Down east, as down east as you can get in Maine. And somehow that came out last night at the end of the ball game. Here's the 0-2 delivery and a swing and a foul ball that caught him. Stays at 2 strikes.
A little two-seamer running in on Manny Machado. He catches it out in front, but foul ball right off the instep of that front foot. Almost knocks him right to the ground.
He'll take a while to walk around here. Still leading the majors with the 39 doubles, trying to catch Edgar Martinez's mark for most doubles prior to the All-Star break. Needs 3. 0-2 count, one away. And Machado will foul it back, and there'll be no play on that one. Interesting to watch the defenses on Manny Machado to see, obviously with more than a half season gone, a lot of scouting reports. They tend to move second baseman. You look at Kinsler towards the middle, and the outfield shaded to right. They give him the gap in left center and look for him to hit the ball up the middle on the ground. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him. He'll take that one the other way. That's going to be a base hit. Cut off by Cruz. Machado's on with a single.
Yeah, I still think they're trying to find ways to defend Manny Machado. Beautiful piece of hitting right there. Take a look at the Baltimore Orioles offense. Now we know they're a very aggressive offensive team. Better early in the count though. 3.77 pitches per at bat, which is the fewest. But there's a reason why they have great success. .311 batting average with a .534 slugging after 3 pitches, down to .222 and a .355 slugging percentage. So hey, let them stay aggressive.
Not likely that will change. Here is Nick Markakis. Nick has had 1 hit in the series, and the pitch will be taken up high from Lindblom. Nick, as we showed you in the open, with the .289 batting average at the moment. Markakis ended up scoring last night, reaching on an error, and also drew a walk, had an 0 for 2 in the ball game. 0-1 count. Very close to the bag. Manny Machado at first base. Markakis will take Lindblom's pitch inside. 1-1. There is Machado. Not doing any running and being very careful, playing it safe in the base paths. Part of that with Markakis, the guy who's always behind him, or usually behind him. You do not want to be taking the bat out of his hands. And Machado tends to play it pretty safe out there when he reaches first. He's 6 out of 10 in stolen bases.
Yeah, certainly has the ability to steal some bases, but Nick Markakis give him that big hole over there, and of course he can drive the ball in the gaps. Adam Jones behind him, and then Chris Davis, so you don't want to run into outs early.
Popped up outside at third. Beltre comes over in case, but it's out of play. So far, ball boys and fans have more putouts than the defenses do. They all brought their gloves tonight. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Nick. There's the young man who had the great play down the line and is ready to make another one. One and 2. Moreland holding the bag at first. Lindblom facing the Orioles for the first time. He'll have to wait. Markakis will step out. In fact, for Lindblom, this is the first road start away from Texas for him in a Texas uniform. 1-2, and Machado easily back to the bag. Manny probably not going anywhere, but Lindblom trying to keep that double play in order.
Yeah, one thing though, I mean, Wayne Kirby down there, we've talked about this before, certainly on top of pitchers and what their tendencies are, and Lindblom isn't very quick to the plate, so if there are opportunities there, the Orioles might try to push the envelope a little bit on the base paths.
He almost has a hesitation, doesn't he, in that working out of the stretch. He brings the knee up and just kind of holds for a split second, which really slows down the ball coming to the plate, and it's after he's committed. So it's a pretty good move to run on, I would think.
Yeah.
2-ball, 2-strike count. And he's got a little bigger lead over there at first now. And Kirby stretching him out from the bag. That'll be foul the other way. Still 2-2.
Well, some really good bats by the Orioles offense here in the first inning off Lindblom. Of course, Nate McLouth over 10 pitches, and Manny Machado battled through and saw some pitches with the base hit, and now Nick Markakis once again really working Lindblom here. 22 pitches already.
2-2 coming again to Markakis. And got fisted and will foul that one back. Again, Yu Darvish is not going to start tomorrow night. The starter for tomorrow will be impacted by what they have to do out of the bullpen in the ball game tonight. Darvish has got a trapezius problem. It's affected his throwing of late, so they're going to put him on the DL probably Saturday. The announcement made just before the game. So Buck Showalter does not know who's going to start the ball game tomorrow, and in fact probably neither does Ron Washington. He thinks it's going to be Ross Wolf, but not if Wolf is needed. Look at that scribble. Kinsler flipped it. They get the out. Ball just barely had enough on it to get to the second baseman, to Andrus for the force play to get Manny Machado.
Now right off the end of the bat by Markakis. And you think a ground ball in middle infield was going to be a double play, but Kinsler has to take his time, make sure there was some spin on that ball. Of course, Manny Machado right on top of Andrus. No chance at a double play there.
So Markakis will reach first base with 2 down. Here's Adam Jones. Jones coming in with the 109 hits on the season. 2 for 9 in the series. Lindblom's delivery to him, and that'll be taken away. All of the Orioles in the lineup here have not faced Lindblom before, so it's the first time around.
And quite a benefit when you've seen so many pitches being thrown, though, here in this first inning. Getting a good understanding of what he features.
1-0 delivery to Jones. That'll be a base hit into left field. Profar going over, cuts it off, and will hold the runner at second base. So Jones is on, second hit for the Orioles.
Take a look at Josh Lindblom's pitch usage. Mercedes inside the numbers tells you 45% of the time he's coming with that fastball. We talked about his off-speed offerings. He throws them a lot. He loves the slider, 29%. Batting average just 200. Curveball, nice numbers there. Throws it 15% of the time. 143 on the breaking ball, and also has a little changeup to go along with it.
So the RBI opportunity goes to Chris Davis. Chris with an 0 for 14 right now, and an 0 for 7 in the series. So trying to get out of the 0 for. Average now at 313. Still the major league leader in home runs, as he has picked up 33 and the 85 RBIs. Ranked second in RBIs, first in homers, and now fourth in batting average in the American League. He still leads the league with 59 extra base hits. Cabrera's got 50. And the pitch is inside to him. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Davis. Here's where the Orioles are looking to just bust out and get some people in when they get them on base. Batting average last 9 games, runners in scoring position 138. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Davis takes. Lindblom misses, and it goes to 2-1.
We certainly don't want to force the issue, and I think sometimes, of course, media helps that. Everybody gets talked about going in there. You guys are having trouble in runners in scoring position, and that kind of pressure builds a little bit. And a lot of guys really force the issue, and instead of just letting it happen naturally and trust their abilities and their preparation.
2-1 delivery on the way. Pickoff throw to second base, and not in time. Nick Markakis gets back in with Andrus, the shortstop, moving over, and Giovanni Soto's making the start behind the plate, and he's got, and always has had, a big-time arm.
Yeah, great throw right there, and certainly much rather getting out on the bases with 2 outs instead of face Chris Davis, so they're trying to get the cheap out, throwing behind Nick Markakis.
3 ball, 1 strike count on him. Lindblom's delivery. Davis will hit that to second base. Kensler's got it. And that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. No score after 1. Familiar face in the ballpark tonight. There's Brooksy. Brooks Robinson on hand to watch this ball game, and can't wait to. I didn't see Brooksy before the game tonight, but I cannot wait to talk to him about Manny Machado.
Oh yeah, you know he's appreciating Manny Machado's skills over there at third base, and of course he appreciates the fact that the Orioles have been winning here the last couple years. That's what he's all about. But Manny Machado, there's already been great comparisons. Of course, that great play that Manny made up at Yankee Stadium, immediately everybody thought of Brooks Robinson, and they actually had side-by-sides, much like what you're looking at right now, but of Brooks Robinson's play back in the World Series and Manny's play, and just eerie similarities. I mean, great athletes, of course, great third baseman.
Brooksy will be heading up for the Hall of Fame ceremonies. It'll be coming up in a couple of weeks, and you can bet he's watching third base intently. Here is Beltre. The Orioles are watching him intently. Beltre's just on fire. An 11-game hit streak, 6 for 7, 2 home runs, and 5 RBIs in this series. And he's just been unstoppable. He has had, over the last 7 games, 6 home runs. 1 ball, 1 strike count. It's the first time in Beltre's career he's had 16 hits and 6 home runs over a 7-game span. And he's been doing this for 16 years at the major league level. So he's in the hottest of spells right now at the plate.
Yeah, pretty amazing numbers here recently for Adrian Beltre.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery by Chen. And he went upstairs and tomahawked that one. Machado is over near the seats and reaching in. He's got it. There's the first out. You can win a hitting lesson with Adam Jones. Join Masson's Touch 'em All rewards for your chance to win the grand prize. Just go to MassonSports.com to sign up. So Beltre retired, and anytime the Orioles can say that in this series, that's a big sentence.
Sure is. See Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy put the defense in motion. Manny Machado going out to short right field as they put the shift on for Brzezinski.
Brzezinski's the DH tonight. He's had a good series, 3 for 8, couple of RBIs. Chen's breaking ball will be taken inside. There you see the 278 mark, 8 homers, 31 RBIs. He has faced Chen before, 2 for 6 off the Orioles starter. And Chen gets it in there. No 1-ball, 1-strike count. Very tough team against left-handers. Texas 18-11. They are tied for first with the most wins against the left-handed starter in the American League. They've got bats both right and left who can hit left-handers, although they are not satisfied completely with the lineup that they put in as far as right-handed bats are concerned. 1-2 delivery, and he got him to wave. Chen's got 3 Ks.
Wow, what a beautiful pitch right there by Wei-Yin Chen. Nissan Pitch Track will show it right here. This is a dotted fastball down and away at 93 miles an hour. Wei-Yin Chen is locating his fastball very well. He's keeping him off that outside corner with fastballs in, mixing in some off-speed pitches. And man, when he can locate like that, he is going to be very effective.
That'll bring up Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. Andrus, real good series, 4 for 8 RBI. He's got a 6-game hit streak. Shows bunt, and will pull the bat back in time for a ball. Andrus has struggled against the left-handers. He's hitting only this season, hitting .224 against them. Last year he was a .265 hitter against left-handed pitchers. 1-0 delivery by Chen, and that is in there for a strike. And one must say at the start of this ball game, at least for Wei-Yin Chen, looks like Wei-Yin Chen.
Yeah, it really does. And great composure, very aggressive with his fastball, inside and outside.
They'll miss outside with that. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And it's good to see. Boy, they have missed him.
Chen 2-1, 2 away. And that ball put up in the air, foul. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Orioles, of course, making roster changes today. Chen had to be put back on the roster. So the Orioles, after the ball game last night, sent down both a reliever in the ball game, Kevin Gossman, the youngster, and Zach Britton, the starter. Both were sent down, and the Orioles, needing a little help in the bullpen, brought up the right-hander Josh Stinson, added to the roster along with Chen. So Stinson, 25. He's been up once with the Orioles. Had a start against Toronto, 5 runs in 5 2/3 innings. He's available out of the pen tonight. 2-2 delivery will be taken inside, 3-2.
That's a really good pitch. I mean, most pitchers, you would think that every pitch has a purpose. Well, Wei-Yin Chen, every pitch he's thrown, there is meaning behind it. It's helping to establish maybe an outside corner or get guys off that inside pitch.
Not happy with himself. That one got away, and that will be a walk. Andrus gets it with 2 down here in the 2nd inning. That'll get Moreland to the plate with 2 down. On Friday, Birdland favorite returns. The first 20,000 fans, 21 and over, get the '83 World Series 30th anniversary floppy hat presented by Miller Lite. After the game, there's going to be a great fireworks display on Friday. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Moreland up with 2 outs. 1 for 5 and an RBI in the first 2 games. And Moreland will take the pitch for a strike. 261 on the year with the 12 home runs. Moreland 271 off lefties. About 15 points higher than against right-handers. Andrus and Davis continuing the old home weekend we've had now for 3 games at first base. throw over, and he'll be back. Anders will take off. 18 stolen bases. He's only been caught 3 times. Elvis Andrus is tied for 9th with his teammate Jonas Martin. Both have 18 stolen bases. Ellsbury's got 36 to lead the American League. McLeod with 24 second. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way, and that will miss inside. Base stealers with Chen on the mound have gone 2 for 4. This, of course, is 9th start of the year. Wieters continues to throw out 43% of base stealers.
Now, Wei and Chen's got a pretty quick slide step. Of course, Matt Wieters has a great arm back there. We've seen it in this series, so he might be a little bit hesitant. So he'll be taking off. Maybe early, though.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. That's there. Moreland having a tough time hanging in here on the left-hander, wanting to step back a little bit, and could not get to that pitch that was away. 1-2.
Well, that's what Wei and Chen's fastball inside does to hitters. I mean, they get leery of it. They have to protect because he's rushing up there 92, 93 miles an hour. And you got to be ready to hit that one, or your bat's going to get shattered.
1-2, long look over. That'll be grounded to second base. Roberts will handle that one. Gets it over to Davis. Moreland is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Brooksy on hand. The ultimate Oriole watching baseball on this Wednesday. Trudy Schaefer from Reisterstown. Trudy, you've won 500 for being selected. You get 100 more for every Orioles hit during the ball game, and 500 big ones for any Orioles home run in the 5th inning. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery hit big contestant of the game, play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles. Good luck, Trudy. Lindblom will try and find a way to cut his pitch count in half here as he goes to the 2nd inning. The Orioles worked him out.
He sure did. 31 pitches. All started with Nate McLeod, leadoff hitter.
Now Wieters up, and Wieters on the big cut. Matt's got a 4-game hit streak coming in. He's had a hit in each of the first 2 games of this series, including a home run, a couple of RBIs. Now up with those 12 homers on the year. And Wieters in the off-speed delivery will take it. Nick Tepesch was supposed to be the starter in this game. Lindgren an emergency start because Tepesch out. The injury put on the DL at the start of the series. So Ron Washington, and now with Darvish unavailable to pitch, he's going to have to do it again tomorrow. There's a silo shot drifting over towards the dugout. Soto's there, and he's got it. Wieters retired. Take a look at our Chevrolet League leaderboard, brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Yeah, most combined extra base hits by a third baseman and shortstop. Detroit Tigers, of course, Miguel Cabrera, Johnny Peralta helping those numbers at 84. But the Baltimore Orioles with J.J. Hardy and Manny Machado with 80 extra base hits. Oakland Athletics, Nationals, and Rockies on that list as well.
J.J. Hardy at the plate. 3 hits, 8 at bats, 2 RBIs in the series. Orioles in the first 2 ball games hitting .225 as a team. As we said, they picked up the 9 runs on a towering fly ball that's going to be fouled. Team ERA in the first 2 games, though, is 8. And that's really all you need to know. 0-2. Roberts waiting on deck. We do not have a report on Chris Dickerson and why he had to come out of the starting lineup. Here's the 0-2. One good sign is he's in the dugout.
Yeah. So hopefully his legs are still working. Well, hopefully it wasn't a leg injury. I mean, Buck Showalter would certainly love him for defense or running the bases if need be.
Pitch will be taken outside. About a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Lindblom was said to have a fastball that was supposed to be up around the mid-90s, 95, 96, but Texas has not seen that. 2-2 delivery on the way off the end of the bat to short. Anders. Hardy's retired, and there are 2 away in the second inning.
Now mixing in just enough off-speed pitches to keep Orioles offense off that fastball. It isn't very dominating. It moves it around the zone pretty good, but a lot of sliders and curveballs. Well, really just what he's all about. I mean, mixing pitches well and trying to locate well.
He worked out of the bullpen for 101 relief appearances before he ever got a start. He really has been a bullpen guy out of Purdue University, where he played a couple of years in West Lafayette. Brian Roberts up and will take the pitch. Brian was going to hit 9th. Dickerson was going to hit 8th when the change was made. Roberts moved up to 8, and Reimold went in as the DH hitting 9th. Pops that one up left field. Profile finds it, and that'll do it. So Lindblom has a 1-2-3 inning, and we've completed 2 here at Camden Yards. Chen's return so far looking good. Major League Notebook, and who'd have thought David Ortiz, he tied Harold Baines to the most career hits by DH last night, had 4 hits. That's okay, but who'd have thought he'd have his 3rd stolen base in the same game, tying a career high for a year. Wow. Grant Belfour, how about those numbers? 24 out of 24 this year and 42 for his last 42 in saves. He's with Oakland. Cleveland Indians, they now lead the majors in shutouts. 11 shutouts this season for them as a team. Few who'd have thought. in our notebook. Belfour's kind of done it on notice because his numbers aren't among the top 3 in total saves, but he certainly has been effective. Wei and Chen will work to Soto, Beltre, and Kinsler. Angel Beltre. Giovanni Soto will take the pitch for a strike. Soto getting his first action in the series. There are the numbers for the catcher. Chen's 0-1 put in the air, center field. Jones over to left and will make the catch.
Take a look at Wei and Chen in his career versus the American League West. Good numbers, 4-2 record with a 2.77. That's 9 starts. American League Central 4-2 as well, 4.53 earned run average. American League East a little bit tougher, 4-8 with a 3.94 earned run average, 16 starts.
Chen working on a bit of a string of scoreless innings. He had to come out of the ball game on May 12 against Minnesota with a oblique problem, but he had not given up a run in the 5 innings worked in that ball game. This is Angel Beltre. Beltre getting the start in center. Second game he started in center in the series. Breaking ball is popped up third baseline. Wieters called off. Better angle for Machado. And there are 2 down. On Saturday, the Orioles host the Blue Jays, a 4:05 afternoon game. First 20,000 fans 15 and over will get the Adam Jones replica road jersey. You can back the Birds and a big division game and have some fun at the ballpark. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. That's coming up Saturday. Note the start time, 4:05. Orioles rotation set for the Toronto series now with Chris Tillman against Mark Burley. Jason Hamill's going to go against Todd Redmond. Scott Feldman against Josh Johnson to go into the All-Star break. Miguel Gonzalez will work the 4th game of this Texas series tomorrow night, and we'll see who the starter is for Texas.
And there's a look at the rotation right there.
Ball in the air to center. Kinsler. Jones. Kinsler, 2 fly balls to center field. His time's up, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Chen. Right now, the pitchers early on the advantage. The offense has not been what it was for the April through June period. I don't think it could have been that hot, but here are the numbers.
Yeah, April and June really best in the business. Almost 5 runs per game. Look at that winning percentage at .566. Overall average .272. Great slugging percentage, .455. And they were hitting home runs at 25.2 at bats. Well, July, a little bit of a dip, obviously. Just a .250 winning percentage. 3.13 runs per game, and that batting average at .211. And a lot of numbers that have dipped tremendously for this Orioles offense. The good news is they've been getting some runners in scoring position. The bad news is they just haven't had the timely hit. And 1 or 2 hits in a ball game can really break this offense out and get them going as they head into the break in the second half of the season.
Pitch will be taken away by Reimold, who's the DH. And the count goes to 2-0 on Nolan, batting 9th in the lineup. Lindblom has let the defense do the work behind him so far in the ball game. That one's going to miss. For Reimold, this is the 25th ball game in which he has been the DH. As a DH, he's hitting 141. A couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. DH number for the Orioles overall, 195 batting average. They've had 13 home runs out of the DH spot and 37 RBIs. There has been nobody in particular who has done well in the DH role. 3-1 delivery and a check swing. Comebacker and a comeback by Lindblom to get the out. Reimold is retired. Take a look at our This Day of Baseball history, brought to you by Volkswagen. In 1934, one of the great All-Star Game masters, Carl Hubble faced a starting lineup that had 9 Hall of Famers in that All-Star game. He would work 3 innings, give up no runs, 2 hits. He had 6 strikeouts. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. And in 2001, it was Cal. Final All-Star appearance, named the MVP. He had a home run along with Derek Jeter and Maglio Ordonez. They had consecutive home runs. And in that ball game, they defeated the National League at Safeco Field 4-1. That 1934 All-Star game that we talked about in our Volkswagen moment, brought to you by the Volkswagen Best Thing Ever event. Visit VWDealer.com. Hubble faced, here's the lineup he faced, Carl Hubble faced: Charlie Gehringer, Jaime Manouche, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, L. Simmons, Joe Cronin, Bill Dickey, and Lefty Gomez was the pitcher, and every one of them went to the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
The first 2 batters got on against Carl Hubble in that All-Star game. There was a single and a base on balls to Gehringer and Jaime Manouche. He then struck out 5 of the game's best hitters: Ruth, Gehrig, Fox, Simmons, and Cronin in a row. And that has become one of the great records of All-Star games. And then went on, of course, to pitch his 3 innings, 2 hits and no runs, 6 total strikeouts. Carl Hubble. We asked Buck Showalter about if he were commissioner, would the All-Star game decide home field for the World Series? We'll just let that hang there for a minute. I could say he had no particular feelings on that and just kind of was ambivalent. That would be a complete and total lie, as you're going to hear. McLeod grounded out his first time up. Here's the 3-2 delivery to him, and Nate on a chopper to first, backing up. Moreland, and safe. He beat it out. Nate McLeod gets the infield hit. That's about all the D could do with Nate's speed.
A great hustle, great speed by Nate McLeod. He saw how deep Moreland had to go on this ground ball. He's in retreat mode, ends up fielding it way back on the grass, and Nate McLeod, close play at first, but he beats him.
And not sure here. Ron Washington came out to talk with the first base umpire, Adrian Johnson, about the call.
Pretty close.
Yep, close play, but Nate's good speed gets the infield hit.
Yeah, good to see a call go in the Orioles' favor.
Now.
Well, you know, sometimes you get in those little ruts where it just doesn't seem like anything.
Only when you're losing. When
you're winning. Exactly right.
When you're winning, all the calls are great. When you're losing, all the calls are awful.
That's right.
Here's Manny Machado. Machado with a base hit in his only time up. The Orioles have their third hit of the ball game. And McLeod on at first base. Not been able to do a lot of running of late, with the Orioles trailing in a lot of ball games. He's really had to stay over there. Machado remains in that number 2 spot, as we told you, in stolen bases with 24, caught only 4 times. Not a particularly big lead as he tries to get a read on Lindblom. Machado puts it up in the air, back and foul. 1 strike count on Manning. Already up to 53 pitches thrown by the Texas starter.
Yeah, 53 pitches, but finding a way to stay out of some danger. And really pitched effectively there in that first inning. The Orioles had him on the ropes. Kind of settled in a little bit.
McLeod throwing a throw over there at first base. Manny leading the majors in doubles in the American League. He's second in hits, 8th in average. Tied for 10th in runs scored. 0-1 delivery to him, and a swing on the breaking ball that was away. 0-2. That's a pretty good pitch he's got.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, he has effective off-speed pitches, and you know he's comfortable throwing them at any time in the count. And that was a really good one, very well located down and away.
And Manny Machado. Lindblom's delivery to him. That's going to be to the gap in left center field. Nobody's going to get that one. That'll go all the way to the wall. Beltre going back to get it. Here comes McLeod thinking for 3. Heading to third base, Machado. No play. Triple and an RBI.
Big triple right there for Manny Machado, and he got a mistake and did not miss it. This pitch is center cut down in the zone, and he just hammers this one into the gap. They left that gap wide open for Manny. Little bit of a bobble, and he's on his way to third. He puts his head down. He's burning the whole way. As soon as he recognizes that bobble, puts the Jets on in there safely, uncontested at third base. Picks up a big RBI, put the Orioles on top.
Orioles have 6 triples this year. He has half of them. And the infield's going to be drawn in with Nick Markakis up and 1 away. Machado at third. Orioles up 1-0. And Markakis inside for a ball. Hit into a fielder's choice. His first time up. So the Orioles now with a run on 4 hits against Lindblom. And this will be their second opportunity with a runner in scoring position. I mean, the infield is drawn all the way in, all the way around. And a bloop. Shortstop back, and there is time, and Andrus able to haul it in. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the Mercedes inside the numbers here. Orioles on base plus slugging percentage by month, April, May, and June. Very good numbers, 757, 829, and 739. And we talked about the July drop, just 592 this month. And the Orioles have certainly relied on their offense to help them in the division race. This month, it's just not been there.
Adam Jones will be going for the 2-out RBI. Machado still on at third base. Infield, of course, can back up now and a big out. Jones had a single his first time up. Lindblom's delivery to him will be outside for a ball. Adam coming into the ball game among the leaders in a number of categories, including RBIs. He is 7th. He's got 61 and is also 5th in run, tied for 4th in runs scored with 60. Delivery to him, that'll be outside. Adam is tied for 4th in runs with one of the reasons Tampa Bay is making their big run. Desmond Jennings has been red hot. He moved him back into the leadoff spot on the 1st of the month. He's hitting .389 with 6 RBIs since July 1. Braves have won 6 in a row and 10 of 11. That's going to be outside. And Jones will get ahead of him 3-0.
Well, Adam's showing some great patience. That's 3 sliders in a row, all of them off the plate. And laying off those.
And that will either get him a walk or a pitch to hit. 3-0 delivery. Jones will take it. It is there for a strike. We've talked about the fact, Adam, this season, the walks have been few and far between. 9. Base on balls. 9 walks, but you know his production numbers are up. He's still producing, and certainly one of the most feared clutch hitters in the game, especially when you get late. He continues to come up with some big hits for the Orioles. 3-1 delivery on the way to him. Jones will foul that one back. So Lindblom comes back on him, 3-2.
Well, we were talking about year by year since joining the Orioles. 2008, 270. You see the progression: 277, 284, 280, 287, 288. Great consistency. But look at the power numbers from 9 home runs, 32 last year. He's on a great pace this year with 16 already. The RBI totals continue to go up. So great steady improvement for Adam Jones.
Pretty amazing to do that many years consecutively. And he does get the walk. So Adam Jones will set the table for Davis. First and third, 2 down. And that will bring Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, to the mound.
And there's the pitch count, 63 total, 31 in the first inning. Quick second inning with just 10. They're now in trouble again. Mike Maddox out there to give him a little breather. Remind him of how he's supposed to pitch to the slugger Chris Davis.
He's not made a start since June 20 against Oakland. He worked 5 innings. Gave up 2 runs on 8 hits, making another spot start, the 5th of the season for Texas in this game. And the Orioles with runners on at first and third, 2 away. A run in on the triple by Manny Machado. And Davis will get the opportunity. Chris continues among the leaders in the American League with runners in scoring position. Hitting at .386. Only Cabrera and Brantley have better numbers in the AL. Soto with a nice emphatic display of signs there. Davis grounded out his first time up. And Chris will pop that one up down the line. Beltre will come over. Long run and no play.
Take a look at Chris Davis finding his form with Texas. 266 games, very even with the O's, 260, but the batting average 248 with Texas, 42 home runs. And with the Orioles, he's been on fire. 285, 68 home runs. RBIs up as well. 183 with the O's, and so goes the slugging percentage at .554.
Chris has had only 2 hits against his former team. He is 2 for 24 against Texas. They put the shift on in the infield now as they moved Andrus over right behind second base after that last pitch. So they leave that big hole on the left side. 0-1 count, 2 down. Runners off first and third. Davis will take the off-speed delivery outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, it is off speed. 68 miles an hour.
Yeah, very, very slow pitch. I'll try to get this Orioles slugger off balance a little bit with that one.
A run in here in the third. Davis trying to add to it. 1-1 delivery to him. Fastball gets away. Here comes Machado. He'll score. And he scores on the wild pitch. The second of the year by Lindblom, and the Orioles have a 2-0 lead.
When you have a dangerous hitter like Chris Davis up there, you certainly force the issue sometimes. This time he holds on to the fastball a little bit too long. Almost clips Davis in the knee, but gets by Soto, and Manny able to score easily. And now Adam Jones in scoring position out of second base.
Davis with a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Lindblom really working hard here in the first 3 innings. Again, the off-speed pitch. This one's going to hit the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So he went fastball, changeup, fastball, or changeup, fastball, changeup. Let's see what he does here. 2-2. Adam Jones off second base. 2-2 delivered to Davis, and he got him. And you can see a very upset Chris Davis. It has not gone well for him. 0 for 2 in this, 0 for his last 16. The Orioles, though, lead it 2-0. Wednesday asked him before the ball game, if you were commissioner, would the All-Star game decide home field for the World Series?
No. Team with the best record. Why do we play the regular season? Team with the best record gets home field advantage. I don't care if it's your league, that league, play better. That's just me. But nobody asks me. Same reason why does a guy have to catch strike 3, but he doesn't have to catch strike 3 when there's a man on first? Why can a guy fake the second, but he can't fake the third and first and home? We keep going. There's about 10 of them, and you go, really? Why? But why not let the team with the best record get an advantage for having the best record? And someone says, well, he played another division. I go, or the wrong division. I go, well, play better.
Yeah. That's a great point. I think a lot of people believe in what Buck Showalter's saying.
Oh, yeah.
It only makes sense.
Yeah, it does. The one problem they have, and Buck and I were talking about it after, is because you have to make arrangements for press and teams and hotels and travel and all that stuff, it's hard if you haven't made some sort of a decision before you get into the postseason to say, all right, here's the home field advantage in the World Series, how it's going to go. But having the All-Star game do it is really outrageous. That'll be held on to and caught by McLouth. One down here as Profire is retired. Time for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact.
Yeah, since July 10th, 2012, the O's are 97-71. That's a .577 winning percentage. The only team in the American League with a better winning percentage is the Oakland A's. 105 wins, 62 losses, .629 winning percentage.
A 2-0 lead for the Orioles as Texas bats here in the 4th inning. 2-4-0 for the Orioles. 0s across for the Rangers. Orioles have left 3, Rangers 1. Cruz, a strikeout victim his first time up, and gets eaten up by that pitch down and in. Rangers coming into this ball game, first time they've been 16 over 500, second best record in franchise history for the first 90 games of the season. They're 53-37. Despite all that, Oakland refuses to lose, so they're still a half game behind. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Nelson Cruz. One-two delivery, and that'll be up high. Chen has walked 1, struck out 3. Lindblom has 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Andrus, the only base runner for Texas, with a 2-out walk in the 2nd inning. 2-2 delivery, and that'll be put in the air to right. Markakis over. He's got it. Cruz retired, 2 down. On Sunday, the first 10,000 fans 15 and over will receive an Orioles replica batting practice hat presented by DAP. All kids 14 and under will have the chance to bring their major league dreams to life as they'll get to run the bases here at Camden Yards after the Blue Jays 135 game. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. That's for Sunday. Chen is the most pronounced fly ball pitcher on the Orioles staff. There's a base hit on a golf shot by Beltre. So Beltre gets the first hit of the ball game, comes with 2 down here in the 4th inning for Texas, and a man aboard. Chen's of outs, 68% of the outs recorded this season have been on fly balls.
And there's a ground ball up the middle. You want to keep the ball on the ground, especially with Beltre being as hot as he is. So it was a really good pitch down in the zone. Unfortunately, first hit he's given up, just a single.
1 on and 2 down. The shift put on against Pierzynski. No breeze at all at the moment here at the ballpark. Still summer night. And the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Now with a slower runner up there in Pierzynski, the Orioles put the shift on, but they leave Brian Roberts to be the deep man at second base rather than bringing Machado over from third to play that spot. Here's the 1-0 delivery and a swing and a foul ball. Saw an interesting article today. Last year Tampa Bay had put on the most shifts of anyone in baseball. This year the Orioles had been the leader in the most shifts employed in a game. There's a new leader, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Wow.
Clint Hurdle's Pirates have put on more shifts so far this season than any other team.
They're playing some great baseball.
Yes, yes, they are. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 2 down, runner on at first base. He's looking at some of the Pirates' numbers getting ready for the All-Star game. They are number 1 in the majors in earned run average. Their starters are number 2 in the majors in earned run average. Their bullpen is second. Their bullpen, though, has thrown the most innings in the National League. Might want to put a line under that one. They are 26th, however, in runs scored, 13th in the National League. So it's all about pitching for the Pirates. 2-1 delivery on the way in the air to center field. Adam Jones. He's got it. No runs, 1 hit the first for Texas, and a base runner left on. The Orioles in game 3 of the set have the lead. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Vacation for less in Ocean City, Maryland. Enjoy free family fun and free events all summer long. Visit OCOcean.com for more information. Gorgeous sunset on the Inner Harbor here in Baltimore tonight. A great night to be at the ballpark. Now that's the glove with fashion right there. And the young lady with the top piece to match. Goes right with her glove. Always in style, never out of fashion.
Right. Waiting on a foul ball.
Hit it here. Here's Matt Wieters, popped out his first time up. Wieters, Hardy, and Roberts. Lindblom's delivery to him will be taken up high for a ball. Can't leave the ballpark without a picture, so stand right there. And a ball. Whoa. How about that? 1-0 pitch, strike on the outside corner. Don't forget, after Sunday's game, the kids do get to run the bases here, 14 and under. Unheard of when I was growing up that you'd ever get on the field. That's a great treat for the kids. You're after the ball game, so if you're at the game and you've got youngsters or a youngster 14 and under, they'll have a chance to go out on the field and run the bases.
I guarantee if they open it up to 30 and under, everybody'd be doing it.
Well, you just watch, we watch in other ballparks and here at Camden Yards. You watch the parents who go out. Yeah. They aren't watching the kids. They're running the bases.
They want to be on the field.
And you can see that they want to slide. They want to slide so bad into home. The kids just, oh my. It's such a great time for them. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And that will just miss inside. So the count goes full, 3-2 to Wieters. Orioles trying to get out of this 2-game losing streak against Texas. Rangers have won 3 in a row, and they've won their last 4 on the road. 3-2 delivery, and Wieters takes it. And those aren't missing by much, but Wieters with a great eye will get the second walk he surrendered. Take a look at our PNC minor league report, brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you.
Yeah, Henry Uridia, who got promoted to Norfolk, he had great numbers in AA Bowie that earned him the promotion. 365, 7 home runs and 37 RBIs. Well, he's off to a pretty good start at AAA as well, hitting 298. Doesn't have a home run yet, but 4 RBIs. 778 on base plus slugging percentage in just 12 games.
Keeps showing up as we look at the minors because of those numbers. Here is Hardy, who grounded out his first time up. Orioles trying to reverse the direction they've been in against Texas, as they've only won 3 out of the last 15 over the last 3 years against the Rangers. Orioles have the 2-0 lead here. And Hardy will swing through it. Trying to rev back and get a little bit extra on that one. 89. 1 ball, 1 strike. He does not throw hard. I mean, you've seen him at 91. But most of the time, he's just trying to keep hitters off balance, change speeds. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Runner off first, Waiters. 1-1. And he pops it back into the seats.
Yeah, ultimately, that's what it's all about. Even, starters with great arms that can get a fastball up 95, 96 plus, they still have to mix their pitches up to keep hitters off balance and change their speeds and locations, throughout at bats and throughout a ball game.
Mike Maddox, their pitching coach. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Hardy. Pitch will miss both the plate and Hardy. Went right over his shoulders.
Take a look at the Verizon Fios Exmo right here. This breaking ball gets away, and J.J. Hardy just ducking out of the way of that one. Now that's a close call for J.J. Hardy. Remember, Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful.
Good duck job, and then the next pitch is foul back. So Hardy with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Good career numbers for Hardy against the Rangers. Last 8 real good. Lifetime 271, 4 home runs off Texas pitching. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Wieters with a leadoff walk. Orioles getting the leadoff man on for the first time in 4 innings. And the 2-2 delivery, and Hardy will take it outside. So Lindblom has to pitch. And he's got to try and get you to hit his pitch. And the Orioles, so long as they don't do that, are going to get some pitches to hit.
Yeah, they've been really patient, especially the lefties. That little slider he's been throwing just off the plate inside. Not many chases on that, really making him work. J.J. Hardy laid off that good one there. Of course, Adam Jones laid off some tough ones to come up with a big walk, prolong that last inning, the 3rd inning, where they ended up scoring 2 runs.
Three-2. And Hardy will take it, and he's on. So the Orioles have back-to-back walks here in the 4th inning, and nobody out. And Maddox on his way out. When the Orioles win, everyone wins all season long. When the Orioles win and score 5 or more, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. Just enter promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's.
Well, the Orioles have the Rangers on the ropes here because they have to make a decision about tomorrow's starter. They don't want to get into that bullpen too soon and really use up a lot of their arms. So they're asking for Lindblom to really dig deep and try to get through this, execute his pitches.
He has had 5 3-2 counts in the ball game, evidence of the fact he has to pitch. He just can't overpower hitters. He doesn't have that kind of an arm. And he's thrown a lot of pitches, and the Orioles have drawn 3 walks. He has thrown as many as 101 pitches. That was against Cleveland in his 2nd start, June 10. Up to 81 here. So a chance for the Orioles to have a big inning. Texas will play bunt. Beltre at 3rd, Moreland at 1st, moving in. Roberts flied out his first time up. 2 on, nobody out. Roberts has one sacrifice since returning to the O's. Did not show bunt and will take the pitch up high for a ball.
Well, it's really kind of a tricky situation for the Orioles. Brian Roberts certainly can handle the bat, but Matt Wieters out at second base. Not the best speed, so if the bunt is not perfect, Rangers defense set up to get the force out at third base.
1-0 count. Not bunting, fouls it back. And the count goes to 1-1. A little strategy going on here. Two managers trying to think what the other's going to do. Bobby Dickerson has gone through the signs for Roberts. Moreland will back up now at first base, with Beltre will stay in at third. 1 strike delivery on the way, and Roberts will put the ball up in the air. Foul territory. Moreland, Soto, and no play. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Brian now with 41 at bats since returning from the DL. 1 home run, 5 RBIs, hitting at .220. A couple of hits, though, will jump that average in a hurry. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and Roberts on a check. Did. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, 2 strikes you certainly have to protect. And Brian a little bit over aggressive, but able to hold up on that high slider. You see a breaking ball up in the zone, and that is a hit me pitch, but it just stayed too high.
Brian now 35 years old, bringing the .280 career batting average to the season. 2-2 delivery to him. That'll be put up in the air, deep right center field. Going back, Beltre at the wall, jumping, can't get it. It rolls off the top. Wieters is just starting to come home. They're going to wave him home. They're going to play at the plate, but they didn't know it. And for some reason, Kinsler just kind of held the ball, then nonchalanted it in. And Roberts is on at first base with an RBI single. And the question is, was it a home run? Did it hit off the top of the wall and come back in?
Yeah, take a look here. Great effort.
Nope.
Yeah, didn't quite make it over the top. It looked like it rolled over the top of the wall. He kept it in the ballpark. You see Matt Wieters, he's going back, reading it. Thinks he's got a tag on that effort by Beltre. And he's digging around third. And he scores easily because there isn't a relay throw made. And once again, lack of communication by the Rangers defense. We've seen that quite a bit.
So the umpires are going to go in and take a look at it again. Brian Roberts is waiting there. The only reason he got a single is he's got a runner on in front of him, Hardy, who is also waiting.
Right. Hardy was waiting on Wieters
to see if the ball was going to be caught. Everybody was. So Roberts, it looks like, will end up with the RBI single, because it appeared from that replay the ball did not hit at the top of the fence, the very top, and come back into play. It missed by inches. But the umpires will go in and take a look. Bill Welke, the plate umpire, will stay out. The other 3 go in.
Brian Roberts hammered this ball, and it is a great effort. He almost came down with it, but the question is, did he knock it over the wall? And he didn't. That replay shows it right there.
And the umpires coming back up. And stay right where they are. So it'll be an RBI single for Roberts. The Orioles will take a 3-0 lead. Wieters scores, and the Orioles have runners at first and third with nobody out here in the 4th inning. Did you think that Beltre hit the ball with his glove, or it just went by his glove?
No, I thought he tipped it over the fence.
You thought he did?
Yeah.
You think he hit it with the glove then? He may have saved a home run.
Yeah, he may have.
Because it looked like if he had not touched it, the ball was going to clear the fence.
Yeah, it was up there.
Yeah. He saves a home run.
He did, indeed.
He couldn't make the catch, but he prevented it from going over the wall. Here is Nolan Reimold to ground it out his first time up. Reimold puts it up in the air, down the line, left field, near that fair pole, and goodbye, home run! It made it! Oh, mercy! Nolan Reimold get 2 lottery tickets tonight. A 3 RBI homer. His 5th home run of the season and a big blow for the Orioles.
Well, that's great to see, obviously, for Nolan Reimold, but the Orioles offense exploding here on Lindblom. Great at bats with some base on balls.
And that one in the air to right field, Nate McLouth, and near the warning track. Cruz will go back to haul it in.
Take a look at this rip by Nolan Reimold. This ball's up in the zone, and he jumps all over it. Great extension, but he's holding on now. He's waiting to see if it's going to stay fair. And it clears the 333, and indeed is a fair ball and a big home run for Nolan and Buck Showalter and the Baltimore Orioles.
5th home run for him. Now 12 RBIs for Reimold and a big inning for the Orioles. Manny Machado will take the pitch outside for a ball. Manny has tripled and singled. Yet another multi-hit game for him. And for the Orioles, whose home run numbers had been down, Reimold may start it on the uptick again. And the Orioles now with a 6-0 lead. Boy, that's a big shot. 2-0 delivery. And a swing and a miss by Machado. Manny now with the 36 multi-hit games leads the American League. He and Mike and Trout have been tied. Pedroia is right there with him in the American League lead in multi-hit games. Make it a 3-hit game. Machado now with a triple and 2 singles in the ball game. And for Lindblom, really struggling to find outs.
Well, he is. I mean, really, you have to kind of credit the Orioles offense. They've had a great approach the whole ball game, especially in this inning. Couple base on balls, a big hit by Brian Roberts, and then of course that big home run. And Manny Machado continuing to pour it on here in the 4th inning, and there isn't any help in the background yet for Lindblom.
There is Reimold, designated hitter who wasn't supposed to be in the ball game. How often do we say that? Guy comes in to the lineup late. Dickerson couldn't play. He was supposed to play and be the DH. Reimold gets substituted. Reimold gets a 3-run homer. Nick Markakis. Markakis has popped out into a fielder's choice. And he'll put the ball up in the air to short. Andrus will put it away. Markakis retired. 2 down. Talk with hitters, coaches about the fact you get guys like Reimold who aren't supposed to be playing, who have a big night. Oftentimes, and you know, Mike, maybe better, maybe it's happened to you, that they're relaxed. They aren't expected to play. They come to the ballpark, they do their normal workouts, and they're just really relaxed. Then all of a sudden, they're in the game. And
yeah, and they don't have to think about it.
See it hit.
It just happens.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's Adam Jones. He has singled and walked. 8th batter to hit for the Orioles here in the 4th inning. And he'll foul that away.
You see that a lot with pitchers. You know, if a starting pitcher ends up getting moved to the bullpen and they end up having success, the reason is they don't have to think about their start and they don't know when they're going to pitch. All of a sudden, boom, they're in the game and they have a lot of success.
Yep. There's Machado. 3-hit game out there at first base. Jones 0-1. Adam rips it. Oh my, right by Beltre's glove. Machado's heading over to third base. Profar sliding stop, double for Jones. Texas has got a real problem in this game, and they got a starter right now. Can't get anybody out.
That ball was hammered by Adam Jones. Beltre couldn't even get a glove on it. And they got to throw that one out of the game. There's definitely a dent. A great hustle, too, getting into second base. Manny Machado over to third.
Big night for Jones.
Yeah.
Ron Washington does not have Yu Darvish available for the start tomorrow, so he's got to find somebody in the pen. Darvish is going to go on the DL probably on Saturday, so that pen is short. They got to save somebody to pitch tomorrow, and that would probably be the long man for today. So he's trying to get innings out of Lindblom here, but Lindblom right now has given up the 6 runs on 8 hits in the ball game. 2 in scoring position. Here's where Davis wants to get out of this hole for 16. He's hitting .382 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 1-0 delivery, and that'll go to second base. Ian Kinsler on the hop will make the play, and that will retire the side, but the Orioles have the big inning. They come up with 4 runs, highlighted by the 3 RBI homer by their DH, Nolan Reimold, his 5th of the season. Against Texas, number 1, they get Wei Chen off the DL. He has been outstanding in his start so far. But the Oriole bats coming alive. Triple by McLouth. Bringing McLouth home by Machado, rather. And then Reimold with a 3 RBI homer in that last half inning. And the Oriole bats that have been somewhat quiet are not quiet here tonight. And a 6-0 lead over the Rangers.
Yeah, they're swinging and timely hitting with runners in scoring position has been the key.
So Wei Chen with a lot to work with now. He's given up only 1 hit. A single to Beltre in the 4th inning and 1 walk. The only 2 base runners. Texas has not had a runner to second base in the ball game going to the 5th inning. Andrus, Moreland, and Soto. Elvis Andrus brings the 6-game hit streak into this one. And he will take the pitch outside for a ball. .356 batting average for him here in this ballpark. Second highest. He's hit .417 in Cleveland. Andrus, the 1-0 delivery to him, and that will be taken up high. .250 batting average on the year for the Texas shortstop. Wei Chen, this is why the Orioles were so anxious to get him back, what he's already done in this ball game. 2-0 delivery, and that's there for a strike 2 and 1. Chen with a 3-3 record on the year. Start number 9. Team has gone 5-3 in the 8 starts made prior to this one. 2-1 pitch, just missed outside. 3 ball, 1 strike count on Andrus. 3-1, and he walked him. So the leadoff man on, second walk surrendered by Chen. Before the Orioles finish up their 4-game series with the Rangers, tune into the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report from 5 to 6:30 tomorrow. You can join Rob Long, Dave Johnson, Mel Anton, and Phil Wood. They'll break down Wei-Yin Chen's return to the rotation, take a look at what has been a very crazy and successful first half for the Orioles, and a look at the rest of the MLB season. That's the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow, 5 to 6:30 on MASN. Moreland grounded out his first time up. Moreland will take the pitch, and it is in there for a strike.
Yeah, beautiful breaking ball right there from Wei-Yin Chen. Wei-Yin Chen certainly is not going to complain about the fact that the Orioles scored 4 runs that last inning and really had a long inning. Everybody came to the plate in that Orioles offense, and it was an extended amount of time that he had to sit on the bench. So trying to get back in the groove here. That first walk to Andrews now, but a nice first pitch strike to Moreland.
0-1 delivery, and that'll be swung on and missed. 0-2 count ahead on Moreland with Soto waiting on deck. The Orioles coming in third place, 5.5 games behind the division leading Red Sox, 2 behind number 2 Tampa Bay, the hottest team right now in the American League, in fact in all of baseball. 0-2 Moreland, runner off first base, Moreland reaching. Chen's got to go to first, Wieters directing traffic, and they'll get the out. Moreland, the first out of the inning. The Yankees have lost 3 ball games in a row. They got a 4-0 lead over Kansas City tonight at the stadium in New York. Derek Jeter's demanding to be brought back. I say that with a smile. He's ready. And Girardi's ready. So it looks like this weekend Jeter will be back with the Yankees to give it a whirl. They came into the game tonight. They've had 1 home run in the last 74 innings. And they're a team, obviously, that's used the home run to their advantage most of the history of the Yankees.
Yeah.
But with that lineup they've got right now, it's just not there, and neither is anything else there.
Yeah, we saw that over the weekend. A lot of singles, but they were finding ways.
Soto. And he will take the pitch for a strike on the inside corner. Giovanni Soto flied out his first time up. Orioles batting around 4th inning, taking advantage of a couple of walks. They both scored, getting 4 runs, 4 hits. And Soto will take the left-hander's delivery for a ball, 1-1. Soto at .248 major league average. Soto now 30 years old, played with the Chicago Cubs, where he had some really fine years as the starting catcher for the Cubs. Acquired in a deal last year in July. That'll go down to third base. Manny Machado's got it. Soto's down. Runner stays. Andrus at second base.
Wei-Yin Chen looks so good tonight. Great location with all of his pitches. He's keeping the ball down in the zone. Really keeping this Rangers offense off balance. Just great execution right now for Wei-Yin Chen. In the last couple days, we've seen how potent this Rangers offense can be, and he is really been impressive, limiting their potential.
So now with the runner at second base, 2 away, Angel Beltre up. Beltre popped out his first time up, their number 9 hitter. And a cut and a miss on that one. Beltre, the 23-year-old, out of the Dominican Republic, a couple of seasons consecutively at AA ball, hit .261 there last year. Ron Washington getting the youngster some playing time this season. His first appearance at the major league level is this year. Runner off second. Here's the 0-1. That'll be looped to short. Hardy's right there, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and Chen putting on a show on the mound. 6-0 O's. combining the two aspects of the game that matter most, pitching and hitting.
Yes.
They've come together in this ball game. And Wei-Yin Chen, I mean, pretty amazing to come back and, at least to this point, be as effective as he is.
Yeah, well, obviously the Orioles' most reliable starter last year, and he's proving why he's been so important to the Orioles' success. Just great location with his fastball, able to keep this Rangers offense at bay. And, of course, you know, you can relax a little bit when your offense is behind you, and the Orioles have had a great approach tonight. They're getting some big clutch hits, timely hitting with runners in scoring position. They have a great game plan going right now, and it's good to see. It's good to see good pitching and good offense together and show what this Orioles offense can do.
And as the players always say, and we quote them on it, it's always about the next day. You get a win here tonight in a ball game like this, and the last two games suddenly disappear, and everything suddenly looks a whole lot better again.
That's right.
And that's why maintaining that calm, steady presence for players over the course of a long year matters, because it does change daily. Here is Matt Wieters. Matt started that last inning out picking up a walk. He would be one of the four to cross. He came in on the RBI by Roberts. Roberts hit the ball a lot further than did Reimold. Roberts got an RBI single. Reimold got a 3-run homer. Bryant actually had a home run denied to him by the center fielder Angel Beltre, who went up and hit it with his glove, or would have gone over the fence. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Lindblom trying to get through the fifth inning. The Rangers are going to get their bullpen ready. Wieters will put it in the air to center. Way back there at the wall and caught. Beltre got it. A 400-foot fly ball that was a rainmaker. Well, it's time for the fifth inning home run bonus for this inning only. Tonight's Maryland Lottery hit a big contestant of the game gets $500 for any Orioles home run. Trudy Schaefer have already won $1,300 tonight. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery hit a big contestant of the game, play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles to enter. One away in the fifth inning. Here's J.J. Hardy, and he will take the pitch for a strike. Hardy hitting at 254 and fooled on the off-speed delivery. Hardy drew a walk. Those back-to-back walks that kicked off the fourth inning, very important for the Orioles, as they both would score and set the stage for the big inning. Manny Machado's got an RBI, Roberts 1 and Reimold 3. Check at first base. Adrian Johnson says no. Right back here with you tomorrow night. 4-game set will conclude. Miguel Gonzalez will be going against as yet an unnamed starter, Yu Darvish. Their all-star pitcher was supposed to pitch tomorrow, can't. Trapezius problem. He'll go on the DL later this week. Probably left field. And Profar comes on to put it away. Hardy retired. So there's another spot that's opened up on the all-star team in the American League for another pitcher. Jimmy Leland will have to name somebody to go. And there'll be others probably. The pitchers that we mentioned last night, there are 3 all-star pitchers scheduled to start Sunday. Whether they choose to pitch in the all-star game is up to them. They will go to the all-star game to make an appearance and be announced and all that, but do not have to pitch unless they want to go an inning. And that's kind of up, obviously, to the pitcher and their home manager.
Yeah, I think more so the home manager.
Yeah. Verlander's one of those, of course, with the Tigers. Bartolo Colon was another. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that'll get away from Soto to Brian Roberts. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down.
You know that the Rangers manager Ron Washington certainly isn't happy with the score of this ball game, you know, being 6-0, but he is happy that Lindblom's able to really suck it up and get into this ball game a little bit deeper. I mean, you have to, you know, tip your hat to this kid. Last inning, how he made it through, you don't know. Ron Washington obviously asked him if he was okay to go back out there. His pitch total is way up there, well over 100 now, and he's just trying to eat up some innings.
Down to third, backhanded by Beltre, and he gets through this in a clean inning. 1958 All-Star game played. Oh yes, right here in Baltimore Memorial Stadium. There you get a look at a ticket. Get you a bleacher seat. $1.50.
Highlights tonight. Manny Machado staying red hot, driving this ball into the gap, getting it by Beltre. Scoring man, Nate McLaughlin, he slides in the third safely for a triple. Then a wild pitch. Once again in the third inning, scoring Manny Machado. And Nolan Reimold with a big 3-run home run. Put the Orioles up on top. Added a cherry to that big fourth inning. There's a game summary, 6-0 Orioles. Manny Machado 3 for 3 with that triple and RBI. Lindblom, 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. Wei-Yin Chen has been dominant, just 1 hit. Remember, Geico saving people money on more than just car insurance.
That home run by Nolan Reimold was the first hit by a right-hander off Lindblom this year. Granted, he's only pitched 31 innings. However, the home runs have been hit by the lefties, 3 of them prior to that. Wei-Yin Chen, Ian Kinsler, and the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Kinsler's flied out to center field twice. I don't think in the 3 games he has swung at a first pitch yet.
No.
He does not swing at first pitches. Here's the 1-0 delivery by Chen, and that'll be taken away. 8-game hit streak for Kinsler. He too here at Camden Yards loves hitting here, hitting .322 lifetime in this ballpark. Has hit in 8 consecutive games here in Baltimore. I was talking with Dave Magadan, the hitting coach, before the game about why the numbers are a little better on the road than they are at home right now. And he said, well, the surprising thing is, as warm as it's been in Texas, it hasn't been as hot as usual for this time of year. And the temperature at night's down into the 82, 83 range. He said the ball's just not traveling the way it usually does this time of the year in Texas. He said we're actually finding our power hitters doing better in ballparks like this on the East Coast. That will be a leadoff walk. Third walk surrendered by Chen in the ballgame. On Friday, July 26th, the Orioles open a key 3-game weekend series with the division-leading Red Sox. Help us paint the park orange. The Birds battling for that crown in the East. There are good seats available, but will not last. Make sure Orioles fans get yours before the Red Sox fans do. Call 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Leadoff walk for Kinsler. Leadoff walk for Andrus in the 5th inning. He got stranded at second. The only hit, a Beltre single in the 4th inning. Erickson Profar in left field. He has struck out, flied out. And that will be in there for a strike. We mentioned last night Profar and the Orioles minor leaguer Jonathan Scope played on the same Little League World Series championship team from Willemstad, Curacao. Profar homered. Scope got the save. Championship game. Pitch will be taken inside. And a 2-ball 1-strike count from Chen. Chen now just 78 pitches thrown. We're in the 6th inning. As we said, there is no pitch count tonight. No limitations on Chen. Kinsler at first, 2-1 delivery. Down low. Oriole bullpen not throwing, but they are stretching.
Wei-Yin Chen a little bit of trouble here trying to find the strike zone. Able to make an adjustment in that last inning after the leadoff walk. And ended up retiring the next 3 batters. 1, 2, 3.
Three-one count on Profire. Cruz on deck. And he'll take it. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Kinsler not making a move to go with his team down 6-0. And got him. Chen gets the strikeout. That'll be his 4th of the game. Profire talking to the home plate umpire. Better remember, he's a youngster.
Man, better remember that is just a nasty pitch from Wei-Yin Chen. Take a look at the Nissan pitch track. And that is a perfectly located slider down and into Profar. I think it just surprised him because of the count being 3-2, not expecting the slider.
Ron Washington coming out as the home plate umpire and Profar continue the discussion. Bill Welke, the home plate umpire. And whether it's right or wrong, veterans get a good deal more leeway in these situations than do 20-year-old rookies.
Right. Oh, yeah, that can get under an umpire's skin in a hurry. Of course, Ron Washington, a lot of time in the big leagues. He'll be talking to Profar and let him know.
There'll be more young men like that, and you'll just have to go back and come back again. Here's Nelson Cruz. And Cruz towards that big hole. They were playing him the other way. Dribbles that one. Kinsler will go all the way to third. Marquez is going to make the throw. Not in time. So Cruz gets the 2nd hit of the ball game for Texas. And for the first time in the game, they get a runner over to third base.
And take a look at the Verizon Fios Exmo here. This pitch is off the plate. I think he's just thinking, hey, I got an opportunity with that big hole over there. It's been tough off Wei-Yin Chen. He's looking away and expands the zone and picks up a big hit for the Rangers.
Adrian Beltre. A dangerous situation here, even with a 6-0 lead. Beltre's had a single, now has a 12-game hit streak. He's had 2 home runs in the series. Chen with a look, runners off first and third. And Beltre will take it for a strike. Texas 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position in this ball game. Just haven't had chances. Orioles 2 for 6. Beltre, 1 hit in 5 at-bats lifetime off Chen. 341 off left-handers coming into the ball game. Puts that one up in the air to the seats, foul. Oh-2 on Beltre. First time Chen has had any kind of a jam in the ball game. It comes here in the 6th inning.
They're really making some good pitches, though, after that leadoff walk. Big strikeout to Profar. Of course, that pitch Cruz hit was off the plate, but a couple really good pitches here. Just painting them to Beltre.
Chen with the 0-2 delivery to him. Beltre down to third. Manny Machado had trouble getting it out of the glove. Gets one. That's it. Run will score. So Beltre will hit into a fielder's choice. He will get an RBI. Kinsler crosses. It is a 6-1 ball game, but there are 2 down.
Well, Chen did what he wanted to. Got the ground ball. Manny with a little double clutch. Unable to complete the double play there. And Manny kind of upset about that one, shaking his head. Take a look. Good position though. Eyes behind the baseball. But when he goes to transfer, just can't quite get the handle. Wants to go in and make sure, which is a very smart play. You don't want to force the issue, which could potentially lead to a big inning, and gets that one out.
Beltre gets his 53rd run batted in. Pierzynski, the DH. He has struck out and flied out. 6th inning, 2 down, run in. Still only 2 singles on the board for Texas. Pierzynski waiting on a 1-0. And that will be taken down low. Texas is one of those ball clubs, much like the Orioles. There are never enough runs. Too much power, too much thump in the lineup. Ergadea is going to come out and have a word with Chen.
Yeah, well, especially the way they've been hitting here at Camden Yards and the success they've had against the Orioles over the last couple years. Orioles offense wants to keep adding on. Wei-Yin Chen wants to keep trying to put some zeros up there.
So a little discussion, just checking to see how he feels. Pierzynski with a 2-0 count. 2 down and a runner on at first base. Two-0 delivery to him, and that ball's hit in the air to right field. Markakis looking up. It'll go off the top of the wall. Rolls away from Nick. Runner will be held at third, though, and it'll be a double. And did miss a home run by much as Pierzynski gets the 2-bagger. And Texas has 2 in scoring position.
Yeah, 2-0, and Pierzynski just sitting on it. It kicks away from Nick Markakis. Unfortunately, Beltre not running as well as he used to, and he gets held up at third base. A.J. Pierzynski goes in the second for his 13th double of the year.
Boy, Beltre is really having trouble running, isn't he?
Yeah,
in this series, he's just not limping around, but
not moving
very well. All right, big moment of the ball game here with 2 down. Here's Andrus. Elvis Andrus, runners at second and third, 2 away. Andrus will take it up high for a ball. Chen would appear to be running out of gas. Tommy Hunter in the pen. Wind is picked up, blowing out to left. Chen with a 1-0 delivery, and that will be outside, and he's working behind hitters in the inning as well. 2-0.
Yeah, right from the get-go, that leadoff walk, and fell behind a Profar, but ended up coming back. But yeah, falling behind and then having to get a pitch out over the plate. I mean, he's been great at locating all of his pitches on the edges and been able to work the perimeter to the hitters. But when you fall behind, you got to get more of that plate.
Andrus waiting. 2-0 delivery to him will be fouled away. So a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Texas bats finally getting some hits here after the Orioles had their big 2-run third, 4-run fourth. See the grounds crew in waiting. Storms around. That's why the wind is picked up. There's the 2-1 delivery. Andrus grounds it down to third. Manny Machado's got it. He'll make the play over to first base, and that will retire the side. So Chen works his way through it. It'll be a run on just 2 hits. 2 are left on. The White Sox 6 for 6, including a 4 for 4 off Justin Verlander. You see game-tying home run off CC Sabathia. First time he's allowed a home run to a number 9 hitter. Kansas City getting the win last night, losing tonight. Adrian Beltre last night versus the Orioles had the 4 for 4, 2 home runs and the 5 RBIs to continue not only his hit streak but his big numbers against the Orioles. And there is Beltre, who tonight has continued his hit streak with a single, picked up an RBI. And incredibly, to his credit, Lindblom's back out there.
That really is amazing. Obviously, it shows you the need starting pitchers to get deep into a ball game. Without a named starter for tomorrow, Yu Darvish getting injured, they might have to call to the bullpen again, and they may have to use up their bullpen. They got a big weekend series as well as they head into Detroit.
Yep. Swing and a miss. Nolan Reimold, the big blow in that 4th inning with his 5th home run, good for 3 RBIs. The Orioles now with a 6-1 lead. The other factor Ron Washington has to think about, there's rain in the area. Wind blowing, storms around. He brings a pitcher in, it starts raining. He could lose a guy in less than an inning. Reimold's got another base hit. So Reimold 2 for 3 in the game. Leadoff single here in the 6th inning. There are ball games where you make decisions for the season, not for the game.
Yeah, that's right.
And this may be one of those for Ron Washington.
Yeah.
Just hope that Lindblom can continue along here. He's going to send Maddox out again to have a word with the right-hander. Obviously, they don't want him to be hurt. Not throw too many pitches, not have to rear back and fire and do something to his arm. And look at that number.
Yeah, 113. Just making sure he's okay. Definitely showing some guts.
This is by far longest, toughest outing he has had. As we said, he is primarily a reliever. 8th game, 5th start of the season. You can see the storms blowing around. Runner on at first base for the Orioles, and the pitch, McLeod, that goes off the glove. Soto, and the tag put on. They got him. Boy, is that going to help Lindblom. Soto able to find it, and a one-hop tag applied to get Reimold.
Well, you can't knock Nolan Reimold. Pretty aggressive out there, gets secondary, but what a play by Soto. That ball ends up just behind him, and that's just a quick snap throw. And a nice pickup by Andros. Put the tag on Nolan Reimold.
Took an exceptional play to get him. So 1 away. Nate McLeod will take the pitch for a strike. Nate certainly contributed to the offense, I think, in this game by his at-bats. He saw 17 pitches in his first 2 at-bats in this game. Led the ball game off, forcing a lot of pitches. Kept it up second time at bat. That's a lot of pitches to make to one player. And he got a base hit and a run scored 3rd inning in that second at bat.
Yeah, really big. Kind of set the tone, I think, for the Orioles offense tonight about their patience against Lindblom.
That'll be in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes on McLeod, with Machado waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. And it'll go full again. Full counts galore in the ball game for Lindblom. Kind of looks like he's stretching it out a little bit. That's got to be a concern to Maddox and Washington. 3-2, 1 down. And he walked him. I mean, he's out of gas, and that's going to be it. So McLeod reaches on the walk. The 4th surrendered by Lindblom. He'll come out of the ball game, having worked 5 1/3 very tough innings. The Orioles making as difficult as possible what Mike was talking about, taking a lot of pitches, a lot of deep at bats, and And at least in part, Lindblom took one for the ball club here in this start. Orioles have the 6-1 lead. Up and down, trying to breathe again, but 119 pitches to get there, 5 1/3.
Yeah, you think he's feeling it right now. Wait till tomorrow. I mean, he really labored through this ball game, but he needed to do that for Ron Washington and the Texas Rangers. 6 earned runs in 5 1/3, 4 walks and 1 strikeout. But yeah, like you said, 119 pitches to get deep into this ball game, and now Corey Burns comes on in relief. This will be his 6th appearance. 3.18 earned run average with 4 strikeouts and 2 base on balls, and he loves his off-speed pitches as well, much like Lindblom. He has a really good changeup, a knuckleball, a slider as well. You see that occasional fastball in there, but he's done a really good job. 3 of 4 since he's been recalled. 75% the inherited runners.
25-year-old out of Phoenix. It's his 5th major league, 5th pro season. He pitched with San Diego in 17 games last year. Acquired in the offseason in November for a player to be named later from the Padres. So Corey Burns on. 3 up, 3 down against him in the 9th inning of the ball game last night. Nate McLouth on with a walk. 1 down. Manny Machado. Triple. 2 singles. RBI and a run scored. Manny has already equaled the number of triples he had all last year. And a little check swing. He fouls it off. He had one earlier. He fouled off his foot. That one looked like a little higher up in the body.
Yeah, a little 2-seam fastball that takes off up and in on Manny Machado. And that one, he gets off the ankle a little higher. And you can tell that one hurt.
And Machado taking his time getting back in. Manny has been leading the majors in 3-hit ball games. Going for a 4-hit ball game here. Puts it up in the air, way up in the air to center. Catch made by Angel Beltre. McLouth goes back to first, and there are 2 down. All Maryland residents 21 and over are invited to visit Orioles.com/plates for your chance to win the official Orioles Maryland license plate 0083. Plus an 83 World Series champion 30th anniversary floppy hat signed by the MVP, Rick Dempsey. Show your Birdland pride. Enter to win a unique package from the 1983 champs. Sweepstakes starts or ends on Friday at midnight. So don't delay. Orioles.com/plates for details. Nick Markakis at the plate, back in McLouth. Markakis with an 0 for 3. in the ball game. Burns into the stretch with 2 down. And Markakis take that way up high. 1-0.
Yeah, Burns a little quick there, obviously, with McLouth over at first base.
Late rain falling. One 0 and Markakis in the 6th inning. And Nick will take the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Markakis at 287 on the year. Burns trying to just find the one more out, keep McLouth over there at first base. And that ball in the air, deep to right, and a foul. And the rains come and the fans leave.
Heading for cover.
Yep. Winds blowing to right. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Burns, runner goes, and a chopper. Baltimore chop. Pitcher's got it. And got him. No, he didn't. He did not get the tag on, and he is not arguing about it. Home plate umpire made the fair call. First base umpire Adrian Johnson made the safe call.
Nice play by Nick Markakis right there to avoid the tag. The chopper kind of led Burns obviously right into the line. I think Nick thought that maybe he was going to flip it, but good court awareness to get out of the way. Good body control there, and he gets the call. You see him manipulate his body to indeed avoid that tag. And a great call.
Burns never argued it. He knew he didn't touch him. So the Orioles get runners on at first and second. That's hit number 10 for the Orioles. And we'll bring up Adam Jones. Jones on base all 3 times, a double, a single, and a walk. So he's had 4 hits and 11 at bats in the series. 2 on and 2 out. McLouth the responsibility of Lindblom, and the pitch down low for a ball. Orioles are now 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position in the ball game. They came into this 3 for 19 through the first 2 ball games.
And they had a lot of opportunities throughout this series, and they were able to capitalize a couple times tonight.
Came back towards the inside part of the plate and caught it. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jones. There are the 2 base runners. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Adam unable to catch up with that one. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and all the way to the backstop on the fly. It did not hit Adam somehow. That is a classic wild pitch, and maybe affected by the rain as Burns wiping his hands dry.
I don't know if that was his knuckleball or his changeup. Looked like more of a knuckleball out of tumbling rotation, but he lost the grip of that and almost caught Adam Jones up high.
So Burns with a wild pitch for Adam Jones. Now he gets 2 in scoring position. McLouth moves over to third base. Nick Markakis goes down to second. Burns 2 wild pitches on the year. He's only worked 6 innings. And Jones again. Burns trying to stay inside on him, and that's fouled off.
Burns is consistently throwing a changeup, which is probably his best pitch. He has a great arm cell with it. A nice little movement at the end.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Jones got a hold of that one to left field, but it's going to be playable. Profile there, and he's gone. So the Orioles retired. Will leave a couple in scoring position as they picked up 2 hits in the inning and lead it 6-1. The DL, and a very good one so far. He had given up only 1 hit and 1 walk going into that 6th inning. A couple of walks actually, and then they finally got a run off him.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job. And take a look, most starts of 7+ innings this season. Tigers leading the way with 45. Yankees up there. Pitching has helped them obviously stay in the hunt. Oakland Athletics leading the West. Seattle Mariners at 32. Royals at 32. And the O's 13th. That's the fewest in the American League, and you hear Buck Showalter talk time and time again about wanting to get this Orioles rotation deeper into ball games, at least into the 7th. And Wei-Yin Chen is doing a beautiful job of that tonight. 6 strong innings for the Orioles, and he looks good. 92 pitches to this point.
So he'll go to work with a 6-1 lead in the ball game. The Orioles are out hitting the Rangers 10-3. Orioles have left 7. Rangers have stranded 5. Very late rain, a little mist, almost has stopped now. Chen's delivery, and that will be taken for a strike. Mitch Moreland leading it off. Moreland hitting at .259 on the year. He has had an 0 for 2 in the ball game. Texas trying to find another right-handed bat for the second half of the year. Will his name be Manny Ramirez? Ramirez is playing at AAA Round Rock for Washington's team. They signed him, said why not? If he can play, fine. If not, we lose nothing. He could be the right-handed bat for them. He's hitting .333, had a home run last night. He's played only 3 games for Round Rock. Shattered bat. It'll go into that shift. Roberts is there, and Moreland is retired. 1 down, 7th inning. MLB.com at bat, #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Orioles baseball, live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com. Chen gets the first out. Talking about Ramirez, he's 41 years old now. He hasn't played in North America since 2012. Ball put up in the air to right field. Over to get it is Nick Markakis into the mist. He'll put it away. Soto's retired. 2 down here in the 7th inning. Ramirez played in the Taiwan-based Chinese Professional Baseball Association. It's a 4-team league. He went over there and played last season. Decided he wanted to try and get back in the majors. The last major league game was April of 2011 with Tampa Bay. So we'll see. Ramirez retired, put quotes around that, in advance of a 100-game suspension for positive test on testosterone levels. Retired before he ever had to serve any time. And Major League Baseball saying they consider the time served. I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't either. I mean, the fact he retired in order to avoid the suspension, so what? If he comes back, he ought to have to serve 100 games.
Right.
But MLB has said no. So if he comes back, if they want him, he's eligible to play. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Beltre in the big cut. Angel Beltre has popped out and lined out. One, 2, and 2 down. Chopper to short. Hardy. JJ's got it. And Chen's got a 1-2-3 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time. Camden Yards. The Orioles in game 3 of this set on top 6-1. We'll have the finale of this 4-game set. Miguel Gonzalez on the mound for the Orioles. Washington will name his starter for the game after this one. Our coverage on MASN 2 HD 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Geico, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Wei Yin Chen talking with Buck Showalter. The congratulations. What a performance by Wei Yin, and everybody appreciates that, especially Buck Showalter. The rest of the rotation appreciating Wei Yin Chen back on the team.
Great return. The Orioles could not have hoped for a better performance by Chen in his return off the DL than what he had here tonight. Here is Chris Davis, bottom of the 7th inning, and Chris will take the pitch for a strike. Corey Burns came on in relief, gave up 1 hit in the 6th inning and then got out of it. Chris has struck out and grounded out twice in the ball game. Davis will take the pitch inside. Chris hitting at .310 as he stands in for this at bat. People taking pictures, I think, with some flashes going off. Home plate umpire asking him to put him away. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and that will be fouled off. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Davis.
Well, Chris, not too often you see him get frustrated. His last at bat showed some frustration. This little bit of a slump that he's in right now, smashing the bat to the ground. Shortly after that, you saw him talking with hitting coach Jim Presley. And Coach Jim Presley knows Chris Davis's swing as well as anybody, and I'm sure just subtle changes right now to get Chris Davis back in the groove.
Oh, for his last 17, base hit would get him out of that and get him going again. He'll take the walk. Pretty good patience when you really want to drive one. Leadoff man on 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
Let's see, weigh in talking to tomorrow's starter, Miguel Gonzalez. Miguel's had some really good success this year.
1-0 count, Matt Wieters. Wieters has drawn a walk and scored. He has popped out, flied to center field. Orioles catcher here in the first 3 games of this series. Couple of hits, 11 at bats, a home run and 2 RBIs. 1-0 delivery to him. That'll be taken low, 2-0.
Well, Burns keeps flipping up that changeup, and the Orioles once again showing some great patience. And typically a very aggressive offense, but laying off some tough pitches, and they have the whole ball game.
2-0 delivery by Burns. Wieters to center. He got it. Beltre back. He's got room. Shy of the warning track. Runner tags. He gets the throw in though, and the runner will stay. Davis back to first base. So Wieters retired. Long fly ball. It's another 400-foot out here at Camden Yards.
Yeah, last 2 at bats, some real deep ones to center field. Just missing a couple. If he pulls them, they're both home runs.
That will bring Hardy to the plate. Hardy drew a walk, scored in the 4th inning. 0 for 2 in the game, 3 for 10 in the series. Runner at first now with 1 away. Rain is stopped, and the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. 19,344, 19,344. Number of ducats sold for this one. 1-0 count on Hardy, and a strike on the outside corner. Tommy Hunter back up in the bullpen. One delivery on the way, taken down low. Two ball, 1 strike count on Hardy. There's Davis with a walk over at first base. It's to be really frustrating for Chris, the fact he happens to go into a bit of a slump against his former team, where you'd really like to perform well and put some thump on.
Right. Sometimes that's part of it, trying a little bit too hard.
Yeah. 3 ball, 1 strike count. 1 down, infield double play depth here behind Burns. 3-1 delivery, and he walked him. So the Orioles picking up some walks. That's the 6th they have in this ball game. A couple have been surrendered by Burns. 2 on, 1 down. And Brian Roberts coming to the plate. Brian, an RBI base hit, 4th inning, just missed. A 3-run homer, knocked away by Angel Beltre. In fact, Beltre got a glove on it, or it would have gone over the wall, but because the runners had to wait to see if it was going to be caught, Roberts ended up with just a single out of it and 1 RBI. And the pitch inside for a ball.
Yeah, I think at one point on that play there was Brian Roberts, J.J. Hardy, and Matt Wieters were all within 90 feet of each other.
All watching in center field. 1-0 delivery, and he rips that one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles are taking on a Texas team with the best win percentage in the American League coming into this ball game. This is where they've been playing some good baseball, and it held them to 1 run in this game, where, as we mentioned earlier, they have had 5 or more runs in 6 consecutive ball games coming into tonight's. And Chen, looking to be the stopper, has been. Roberts, a 2-1 delivery to him. Both pitchers we've seen tonight trying to get the Orioles to bite on pitches that aren't strikes, and the Orioles just are not doing it. Well, the Orioles have gotten their chances, their base runners, and some pretty good pitches to hit as part of the 10-hit attack. Three and 1. And another walk. Now he's walked the bases loaded here in the 7th inning. 1 away.
And pitching coach Mike Maddox out to talk to Burns, maybe be more aggressive in the zone. I mean, walks have certainly cost the Rangers in this ball game, and now 3 in this inning.
And they do not want to have to go to the bullpen here in this inning, unless they absolutely have to. Bill Welke on his way out to break up the meeting. So the Orioles with a chance to blow this one open with the bases loaded. Reimold coming up, 1 down. Nolan already has picked up a 3-run homer that came in the 4th inning, his 5th of the year. He's also singled 2 for 3 in the ball game. And again, we mentioned not supposed to be playing in this game. Chris Dickerson, some sort of an injury in batting practice. They had to take him out of the lineup. Reimold gets in, and here he is with another great chance. Infield will play a double play depth. There's Chris Dickerson, who's had to watch, but he's been on the bench throughout the ball game, so whatever it was didn't require him to get out of uniform. 0-1 delivery to Reimold, and a swing and a miss. Reimold with a 1 for 2 with the bases loaded this season. Davis, Hardy, and Roberts on the base paths. Here's the 0-2 pitch to him. Reimold on a swing and a miss. So Burns gets a strikeout amidst the walks, and there are 2 down.
Well, Burns known for his changeup. Take a look at the Nissan pitch track. It's 3 in a row to Nolan Reimold. And that one at the bottom of the zone. You see him turn it over, and that late fade at the end just misses the bat of Nolan.
So now 2 down, and here's Nate McLouth. And McLouth gets it in for a strike. Nate this season has had an inordinate number of chances. This is the 11th time he's batted with the bases loaded, and he is still looking for his first hit. Hardy's had 11 chances, 2 for 11. Down to first and foul, and an 0-2 count. Tommy Hunter's been up twice now in the bullpen. Josh Stinson, who just joined the ball club today, also throwing. Oh, 2 count, 2 down. Sacks full. South will take the fastball inside, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
He continues to throw that changeup, and then tries to surprise attack with a fastball into McLouth. Unfortunately, it was off the plate. That would have got a lot of hitters.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. Burns will have to keep coming. Nate reached, fouled it off on that off-speed pitch. Count stays at 1-2. Ball to second base is going to be handled by Kinsler, and he'll make the play over to first, and that will do it. So the Orioles, no runs, no hits, no errors. 3 are left on base, 7 complete. The return of Wei-Yin Chen tonight, highly successful for the Orioles. He would put up 4 strikeouts. Profar and Cruz both went down in the first inning, as he had a clean first inning to make it back. 7 innings, gave up just 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 100 pitches thrown, and Wei-Yin Chen is back in the Orioles rotation.
Yeah, great line tonight for Wei-Yin Chen. Tommy Hunter now comes in relief. This will be his 36th game. 2.05 earned run average, 38 strikeouts in 48 1/3 innings, just 9 base on balls. And Tommy has been a force for the Orioles out of the bullpen. You see the opponent batting average at 180. Lefties up there at 247, but right-handed batters trouble with the heat. Just a 108 batting average.
Texas will bat in the 8th inning with the top of the order coming up. Ian Kinsler. Kinsler, a 1 for 6 lifetime off Hunter. His 8-game hit streak in jeopardy here in this at bat, one would believe, and he will take the pitch inside for a ball. Kinsler, Profar, and Cruz due up for Texas. Orioles are after their 50th win in this ball game. And the pitch away. Tommy Hunter with a 2-0 count. Delivery. Kinsler takes it. It's there for a strike. Obviously, Texas looking for base runners here late in the ball game and trailing by 5. They've had only 3 hits in the game. Single by Beltre, double by Pierzynski, single by Cruz. Sky shot to center. Jones is there. Kinsler is retired, 1 away. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the choices tonight. Manny Machado, who's had a 3-hit ball game, including a triple RBI and a run scored. Wei-Yin Chen, run 3 hits over 7 in his start. Nolan Reimold, he's had a couple of hits and 4 at-bats, including a 3-run homer. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826. Bjorkson Profar. Profar an 0 for 3 in the ball game, a 1 for 7, a home run in the series. And Hunter's pitch taken up high.
Profar, of course, had the little confrontation with Bill Welke earlier in this ball game. He might go up there hacking.
Good idea.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike count. 1-1 delivery by Hunter to him, and another towering pop-up. Third base or short. Manny Machado will put it away. And 2 down in the 8th inning.
Having some fun out there.
And smile when you get a 6-1 lead in the ball game. Nelson Cruz. And Cruz fouls it back. Cruz with a base hit, 1 for 3. He has extended his hit streak to 6 games. Now hitting at .277 on the year. Oh, 1 delivery outside. Mentioned how the Yankees were struggling with home runs. They had a home run 74 innings going into the ball game tonight. They've got an 8-1 lead against Kansas City in the 9th inning. They had 2 homers. Cano and Overbay have both hit home runs. Bullpen action for the Rangers. 1-1 delivered, taken for a strike. Yankees got a good outing from Ivan Nova. Gave up a run on 5 hits over 8 innings as the starter tonight for New York. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cruz. So Hunter comes on, takes care of business. He retires the side in order. That's 7 in a row who have been set down by Chen and Hunter. Gives $50 to the Y of Central Maryland's Fit and Fun program. To date, the Orioles have 226 walks, $11,300. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Brooksy's got to see it through. Still here. He's been here for the entire ball game, and Brooksy's still on hand watching as the Orioles on top 6-1. Orioles may want Brooksy to come back now. The good luck charm in the house.
Definitely seeing some great baseball tonight. Robbie Ross now comes in for the Rangers. This will be his 41st appearance. 2.66 earned run average with 41 strikeouts and 14 base on balls. See the opponent batting average at 248. Lefty's hitting 310 and righty's just 212.
Been an interesting up and down for Ross. He led all major league relievers over the first 2 months with a .37 ERA. Manny Machado's ground ball will be handled at short by Andrus. Machado is retired, 1 away in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Since then, however, for Ross, things turned around on him. 7 runs, 6 in the 3rd innings, last 7 games. ERA's gone from .37 to 2.66.
Well, it doesn't take long for major league hitters, obviously, to make their adjustments. A lot of video out there. They see how they pitches certain hitters, and he's only got 3 pitches: a cutter, slider, and a changeup.
Ross is 23, just turned 24 years old, out of Lexington, Kentucky. First major league action last year. 58 games. He went 6-0 with a 2.22 for the Texas Rangers. He was selected in the second round of the 08 draft. Nick Markakis, 2-0 count. Nick with a single. 1 for 4 in the ball game. A couple of hits, 12 at bats in the series. 2-ball, 1 strike count on Markakis. Ross in relief for Burns. The inning in 2/3. Walk 3, strikeout and a hit, fouled off. Orioles have had a season high in walks tonight with 7. Like Showalter, that will make him smile, along with a performance by Chen and some hits with runners in scoring position, the things they've been looking to get done. 2-2 delivery on the way, stays.
Yeah, a lot of good things happened tonight for the Baltimore Orioles, and you see how tough they can be when the offense and the pitching work together. If they've had that great defense, it is a good sign to get Wei and Chen back and get deep into this ball game.
2-2 to Markakis, another ground ball to Andrus. We'll get it over to Moreland for the out. Markakis retired. 2 ground balls to short here in the 8th inning. 2 down, nobody on, and Jones coming up. Yankees end up with the 8-1 win over Kansas City, so they end their 3-game losing streak. They win their 49th ball game of the season. They're 49-42. Kansas City very much in the mix in that American League Central with the Tigers, Cleveland, and Kansas City, top 3 teams. Adam Jones will take the pitch, a double, a walk, single, and he's flied out. Average now at .291. 0-1 delivery. The players, fans at the All-Star game where Adam will be in New York will be treated to a very emotional pregame ceremony, as Major League Baseball will be honoring the veterans of all of the services as part of the pregame festivities prior to the All-Star game. And should be a very moving night prior to the game. Machado, of course, going to be there. Jones, Chris Davis. That one's going to be fouled back. Oh, man. I'm going to sign up all the people who've caught baseballs here tonight. Start a team. Line drive. That young man just reached up with his glove and caught it.
Yeah, the Orioles defense rubbing off on the fans here. They're making some nice plays.
Rex Barney. Give that kid a contract. 0-2 count. Jones will foul it off. Hardy, of course, will be there in New York. The All-Star game is what it is. A great extravaganza. Collection of great baseball players. A great week, really. Central Park, there's going to be a big Philharmonic production. Mariah Carey's going to be there to sing. I think that's Saturday night. They're going to have the gala on the Intrepid on the ship over on the west side of New York City. That'll be the gala night before the game. Pitches outside. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And it's too bad baseball just can't accept it for that. It's just a big celebration of the game.
Sure is.
Shouldn't decide anything. Just enjoy the festivities. Be honest. Fans are, I think, trying to select players who deserve to go for their first half performance. Shattered barrel. Oh my gosh. Down to first base. And the play will be made by Moreland. Brooksy on hand. He had a few of those All-Star festivities at a time when they played to win. Masson is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. With Mike Bordick, I'm Gary Thorne here at Camden Yards. The Orioles 3 outs away from a W. A 6-1 lead here in this ball game. Beltre will lead it off. Tommy Hunter stays on. Beltre first ball heading into the seats. Beltre, RBI and a fielder's choice, singled and popped out. 12-game hit streak. But tonight, the other bats, for the most part, have been very quiet. With the work done by Chen and now Hunter. That ball in the air to right field. Nick Markakis. Nick's got it almost in place. Beltre retired. One away here in the 9th inning. Updating you on the voting with the AT&T Player of the Game. Wei and Chen on top. You still have time to cast your ballot, A, B, or C. 31826 results in the O's Extra post-game show. Tommy Hunter retiring the side in order in the 8th inning. Eight in a row have been retired by Chen and Hunter. Kaczynski had a double in the 6th inning. He's the last base runner that the Rangers have had in the game. Kaczynski 1 for 3 with that double. Tommy Hunter with a 1-0 delivery to him. Kaczynski will foul it back.
Tommy Hunter aggressive with that fastball. He has had great velocity since going to the bullpen, consistently in the mid to high 90s. And he throws a cutter off it that is filthy, and he throws it 93, 94 miles an hour.
1-1 delivery. So Hunter gets ahead on the count of ball and 2 strikes. 1 away in the 9th. Not a save situation. Up in the air and foul. Kaczynski has faced Hunter 10 times, 4 for 10 with a home run off him. Kaczynski probably back behind the plate for the ball game tomorrow, DHing in this one. 1-2 delivery by Hunter. That'll be into right field for a base hit. So Kaczynski's got a 2 for 4. That's 5 hits and 12 at bats in the 3 games of this series. That'll be hit number 4. So he breaks the skein of consecutive retired by the Oriole pitchers. And Tommy Hunter getting a new baseball. Elvis Andrus, couple of walks and a ground ball out. Yu Darvish supposed to start the ball game tomorrow, supposed to go to the All-Star game. He's not going to do either. Trapezius problem. He's going to go on the DL probably Saturday. They're trying to time it so it comes out they can get him back after that All-Star break. And it looks like he will miss the series where the Orioles play in Texas. So the Orioles may not see Darvish this year.
Well, that'd be a good break. Take a look at this Verizon Fios Exmo. This is Tommy Hunter's cutter. It is 94 miles an hour. Andrews just getting a piece of it at the end.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrus, here's last chance to continue his 6-game hit streak that he brought into the ball game. He's 1 for 4 off Hunter. 1-1 delivery to him. That's there.
I don't know if Andrus was complaining about the call or the fact that there's no way he could have hit that pitch at 90 miles an hour down at the knees.
Take a pick on that one.
Wow.
One-two delivery to him onside. Hunter with a runner at first, 2-2 delivery, and that's foul straight back. Toronto, the team trying to keep pace in the American League East. They started the day 10.5 games out in last place, playing in Cleveland, trying to get a win. They're working Brett Laurie out at second base in his rehab.
Oh, wow.
They've had troubles at second. Ground ball. This could be the ball game. There's Hardy. Roberts. Davis. It's over. Double play turned. And the Orioles take game 3 of this 4-game set. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Hunter a couple of innings, gave up just 1 hit. Chen the win, 4-3. Glenn Bloom the loser, 1-3. No save in the ball game.